What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Pit Stop. I'm your host, Connor Laeski. We're here back to go over a recap of this crazy weekend. Man, was it nuts at Talladega. As was expected, we knew this was going to be a crazy race. We knew this was going to be wild. We knew this was going to be up in the hands of whoever was in the left in the round of 12. So let's just jump right into it, get the recap going. Obviously, coming off last weekend, we did not get a video out, but I did post on the social media page at the Pit Stop channel. Kyle Larson won at Dover. Big win for him. He definitely needed that because he was below the cut line, so he's automatically moving on to the round of 8. So he was relaxed. He didn't have to worry about much at all going into Talladega. So really good finish for him and good win for him at Dover. But yeah, let's just get into it this weekend. Wow, what an exciting race! Probably one of the most exciting races I've seen all year. I think it was great for the fans if fans were paying attention and watching. It actually got canceled or postponed, I mean, on to Monday because of the rain. So a lot of fans were upset about that because I know some people that went and it did rain and it sucked and they didn't get to go. But I'm so glad they pushed it to Monday and they didn't call it off because that always ruins it. But man, it was nuts. Honestly, I don't even know where to start. So Sunday we had the first stage complete, and with William Byron winning stage 1, and that's when the rain happened and they had to postpone it. So on Monday they started off going into stage 2, and it was just hectic. It was just pack racing pretty much the whole time. They try to go single file, but it just seems like something always was going to happen during the single file. And then it just got out of hand, honestly. We had some major crashes. We had one big wreck where Alex Bowman's trying to, block up top. Joey Logano hits him in the back, and then just, he goes for a spin and takes out playoff drivers like Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, and it causes a huge wreck, and that was the first big wreck we saw. And of course, Alex Bowman's fighting for position here. He needed that. He needed a good position, and he was out of the race early. So, we had some couple big accidents early of stage 2 and going into stage 3, but it all started going downhill, I think, towards stage 3. Pack racing, very tight racing, and then all of a sudden, you guys can go check this out on my social media page as well. And it was all over NBC. It might have even made Sports Center, but we had three wide for the lead in stage 3. It was very aggressive driving from Kyle Busch, Kurt Busch, and Ricky Stenhouse. It was very aggressive driving. I don't know why they decided to go so aggressive. They had, I think, 50 laps to go, but yeah, Kurt Busch was really on on Kyle, which was his brother's bumper, and they were trying to bump draft to the front. And next thing you know, he hits him in the bumper where it didn't need to be hit, and goes for a spin, causes the 62 car to cut in. And once he cut in, he was going so fast that Brad Keselowski was pushing him to the front. He was going so fast when he spun, he just did a somersault. The crazy thing about it was he actually landed it. I have never seen someone flip in the air at Talladega or Daytona or any race, and the car actually lands on all 4 wheels. That it was unbelievable. I was watching the race live, and I saw that happen, and I was like, "Oh my god! Like, this is bad. He's going to do somersaults. It's going to be really bad, scary wreck." But he landed on all four wheels, and he gets out of the car, and I mean the car was damaged, of course, but man, like I was expecting a lot worse. So it was really crazy. I never seen that before, and of course it took out like 5-6 playoff drivers, and including Kevin Harvick, of course, one of my favorite drivers. He just couldn't recover from that. Denny Hamlin had a lot of damage. Joey Logano had damage. I mean, it was just a crazy accident. They red flagged it and everything. I think they had like a few laps still left in the race to still recoup if they had damage, but it took a lot. It took a lot out of some of those drivers, but. And then, like I said, the ending was just unreal. It was crazy. It was honestly whoever was left. I mean, we had a couple playoff drivers like Ryan Blaney, Denny Hamlin, and I mean Chase Elliott. Those guys, they had some damage. I think Ryan Blaney was actually the only one that did not have damage, but Denny Hamlin, Chase Elliott, I know they were still out there with damage, but Blaney was the only one that has just been lucky all day and got through all the accidents. I know Joey Logano got caught up in an accident earlier too. I forgot to mention that was another wreck that happened. But yeah, so it was basically just the last. I think it was like good 15 laps to go or something. I can't really remember exactly how many laps to go. Big pack racing started, and we had just a shootout. We thought it was going to be a lot closer than with the standings and stuff, but it really wasn't. With all these wrecks happening, it just took out so many people's standing points that everybody was dropping like flies and stuff. So it was crazy. The last few laps, it was a race between Ryan Blaney, Ryan Newman, and Denny Hamlin. They were all bump drafting. Eric Almirola as well. He got knocked out of the playoffs a few weeks ago, but he was also involved in trying to get the win. And it came out to a drag race to the last lap. Honestly, when I was watching, I thought Ryan Blaney had it. He had a great restart in front most of the end way, and the final lap just came down to whoever had the best bump drafting. Honestly, I mean, Ryan Newman comes out of nowhere. Denny Hamlin comes out of nowhere. It's like, you just don't. This is so typical at Talladega. You don't see this. You always see this every time on these restrictor plate racing. But big, big, big finish. Obviously, we had with um, Ryan Newman getting pushed by Denny Hamlin, and then we had Ryan Blaney getting pushed by Eric Almirola. But Newman, he gets a huge push from Denny Hamlin. Gets out to the front. You think it's over. Newman cuts down the block. He's in the lead. And then you're thinking, okay, Denny Hamlin's going to pull out. It's going to be wild. It's going to be insane. There'll be a 3-wide finish. Blaney comes back out of nowhere from a last push by Eric Almirola and kind of taps Ryan Newman a little bit to get him loose. And Ryan Blaney sticks his nose out, wrecking behind. There's a wreck happening behind them with Chris Buescher flying into the air. He didn't flip with the restrictor plate doing its job, but he was flying. He was doing a little corkscrew as he slammed into the wall in the back of the pack as they were racing to the finish. So as all that's going down, we got that, and then we just have this ridiculous finish. Blaney, Newman, and Denny Hamlin all coming in 3 wide for the finish, and Ryan Blaney edged out Newman by 0.07 milliseconds. This was the 6th closest finish we've ever had in NASCAR history. That is unbelievable. As a fan, as all you NASCAR fans out there watching that, it was one heck of a race. Well worth it. I know it was a Monday and a lot of people were at work and stuff, but man, like if you guys, if you haven't watched it yet, it's on my Instagram page. At the Pit Stop channel, the finish and the wreck, all that stuff's on there. It is astonishing finish. One of the best finishes I've ever seen. So, and it's awesome because it was a playoff race. But I mean, talk about a huge win for Ryan Blaney. I mean, we're talking about a dude who was below the cut line. Okay, he's in the round of 12, obviously, but he was below the cut line going into the round of 8. If he, obviously, if he doesn't win a race or do well and top 3, basically, he's not going to move on after next week or this coming week. This dude avoids all the wrecks that happen. I mean, he should have been involved in all those wrecks because, as you can see, I mean, he should have because he's just moving his way out. He should have been in, but his spotter was saving his butt. He did a heck of a job. He did a heck of a job getting out of that stuff. And like I said, Talladega and Daytona, these tracks, man, it comes down to who survives. That's all it is. Who comes down to survive. And lucky enough for Ryan Blaney, it worked out for him. And I don't know how he beat Ryan Newman. That was pretty wild. And poor Ryan Newman, he just can't catch a break. Get knocked out of the playoffs, then come back. Hopefully you can win more race before the season ends. Gets taken to you by 0.07 milliseconds. But, man, it's all right. I mean, I know he had a funny interview at the end, smiling. It's all fun games. But, at this point, it's all about the racing, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just craziness, and I just can't believe the finish for sure. And now we're looking at I'm looking at the standings right now, and it's all shaken up. We have Kyle Larson 1, Ryan Blaney 2, and those because they both won a race, and now they're moving on. But now we have Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex Jr., Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, Brad Keselowski, and Joey Logano as the top 8, which would move on if it were to end today. But Chase Elliott, Bowman, Clint, and William Byron are all under the cut line as of now. So it's going to be tight going into this week's race. It's going to be really tight at Kansas. I know there's a lot of talk that, Kyle Busch, Martin Truex Jr., Kevin Harvick are the favorites, but this is it. Everybody's recuperating from Talladega, and this is the shape up you get after a Talladega type of race in which we saw. This is what you're going to get. And Joey Logano's 8, Brad Keselowski 7, Alex Bowman, has had amazing playoff run, is sitting at 9 with only 18 points down from the cut line. And Chase Elliott, I mean, we were just talking about Chase Elliott in the last video, how he won in the Roval. Now he's sitting at 10th. What is he going to do? This is tough. I mean, Clint Boyer, he had a great race at Dega until he got caught in one of those wrecks. Now he's under 24. William Byron, under 27 points. He had the pole for Talladega. So, this is how it goes, and it's going to be hectic. I mean, this is anybody's game, anybody's race, anybody's game. Kansas, obviously, is, a mile and a half track. There's a lot of mile and a half. There's a lot of mile and a half drivers that are really good at Kansas, but it's going to be super interesting, and it's going to come down to, who's got the best car, who's got the best crew, who's got the best spotter that day. I mean, you don't want to have an engine failure like Chase Elliott did at Dover. You don't want to have that come up. For him, this is a big deal, and it's going to be something interesting. None of these drivers between 3 and 8, they ain't locked. There is no more, they're going to move on probably. No. If you're not Ryan Blaney and Kyle Larson that just won the 2 races so far, I would not be comfortable. We got defending champ Joey Logano, defending champion from last year, sitting at 8th. And then we were talking about Martin Truex Jr. hot. I mean, he's 4th, but if something were to happen, then he can be cut off. This is how it gets interesting in the NASCAR playoffs. When we get down to 8 and 4, it gets hectic. So it's going to be exciting this week at Kansas. And like I said, if you have not seen the highlights at Talladega, please go and watch those highlights. They were unreal. I cannot tell you enough that was one of the craziest races I've seen in a long time. Finish, the wrecks, the drama, just everything. So please go back and look at that, and check out at the Pit Stop channel on Instagram again. And please hit that like and subscribe button on this live stream YouTube video. And please leave a comment again if you have any questions or comments you want to say about Talladega, how the race went. So that's all we have today, though, at the Pit Stop. I'm your host, Connor Lasky, and hope to see you back soon this weekend. We'll probably get a video up about Kansas and going into the round of 8. Thank you, guys.